have a special guest here. Don't want to miss this. Red Maple, stay tuned. You're going to get to talk with Brian, the owner, and hear a lot of amazing things.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me pressing through. I can't forget the day we met. Your smile so bright, you made me small.
Hi everybody, it's Corrie Sommers here again, and today I am with someone truly special. I'm very excited to sit down and talk with Brian. He's one of the owners of Red Maple Café here on the edge of Toluca Lake and Burbank Media District. And Brian, why don't you share a little bit about Red Maple and the special part in the front too? I don't want to give it all away just yet.
So my partner and I, Jim, own Red Maple Café, Gelato and Coffee Bar, and the Corner Poke by Red Maple Café, which is what she alluded to, that's on the corner of Maple and Riverside. The cafe is open for breakfast, lunch, and then dinner Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Corner Poke is open 7 days a week as well. What we offer here is everything from fresh sandwiches, salads, bowls. We do breakfast. We have amazing gelato, which you can see right behind us here. 16 flavors of authentic Italian gelato and sorbet. We have a full coffee and espresso bar as well. And then up in the front, you can create your own poke bowl, or you can take one of our chef-inspired. We have 6 signature bowls, all made with the freshest ingredients, wild-caught fish, and also all sauces made in-house. So that's a little bit about Red Maple.
Super. I mean, I have to say the neighbors talk about you guys. I shared this with you before. I walk my dog in the neighborhood since I live here, and I first found out about you guys maybe a couple months after you opened. One of the neighbors was like, "Hey, have you been to Red Maple yet? Oh my gosh, they're so amazing." So you guys get really good neighbor reviews, which is
Good to hear.
Yeah. What made you decide to open the Red Maple?
Well, Jim and I, so my background is in the entertainment business. I have produced a lot of unscripted reality game shows, things like that, competition shows. And Jim and I had opened up a cafe in the office building where my production offices have been for many of those shows. And that was the precursor for this. We opened it, almost 6 years ago. And about 2 years into that, we thought, wow, people, it was in an office building, but people were coming in off the street that had heard about it, and people had gone on Yelp and wrote about it, and we had like 5 stars and over close to 100 reviews. For an office cafe, I think that's pretty good. We decided to look at expanding and doing something where it could be open 7 days a week versus just for breakfast or lunch. And we really liked the media district a lot. We liked Toluca Lake a lot as well. Obviously within a stone's throw is Warner Brothers and the back entrance to Universal. We've got Disney, the Burbank studios. You have a major hospital nearby. We've got tall towers, like literally right across the street. The tower, as they call it. And so there's a lot of not only businesses, but a lot of residents that call Toluca Lake and call Burbank their home. So, and the community's been really good to us. It's very hard to operate a restaurant. It's very hard to open one, to conceptualize one, to create a menu that people are gonna actually like and enjoy and want to come on a regular basis. I mean, you can't just have a restaurant where people come one time and never come back. Granted, there's millions of residents in Los Angeles, and there are a lot of tourists that come here as well. But you need that repeat business, and it's great to see that the residents of Toluca Lake and Burbank have accepted us. We just celebrated 2 years about a month ago, and we've evolved. Whereas the corner space used to be our gelato coffee bar for the first full year, and then a year ago is when we noticed that our poke bowl in our cafe had been our #1 seller Monday through Friday since we opened, and so we thought, why don't we build out this concept, Corner Poke by Red Maple Café, and we moved our gelato back here because we had so many fans of our gelato.
It's interesting to hear you say that. I feel like you've demonstrated a lot of creativity in what you've done with the Red Maple, with the menu, gelato, with poke bowl. I was going to ask, like, if you've come from the entertainment background, which obviously that's a bit of a creative space regardless of what you're doing, do you feel like that's bled over to what you've done here?
100%, because so as a showrunner on various game shows and so forth, you know, I have a set designer that is going to design a set. We have a casting department that's going to find our contestants. You know, there are all these different things that bled over into this place because I had to basically cast this place with talented workers that were friendly and wanted to, you know, be hospitable. And then on top of that, the space that we decided to design that when you enter into, I think is very distinct. You know, it's important for a restaurant to have a distinct sensibility. We want you to feel at home. So you know, we do accent our restaurant with this bright red, whether it's the bright red fountain at the front door when you walk in, or whether it's the red cushions that you're sitting on, or the bright red wall accented, you know, throughout the place, or the red bathroom door, for example. So, you know, it is a little more cozier here, and, you know, we wanted that feeling where you could come and sit and not feel like you're being rushed out the door. So, you know, my experience, you know, it's a lot of work because, I mean, we did it all ourselves. A lot of places or businesses will sometimes hire interior designers. Obviously, you need an architect because you have to have stamped plans.
So you did not have an interior designer. You guys did it all.
So Jim and I spent quite a while doing research online. We actually did a design book that we pulled things that both he and I liked, and then we went out about trying to find things like that in the color. We did a color palette page. I don't know if there's a fancy term. I'm sure there is a fancy term for it, but we did a page that were an array of colors that we liked, that we felt would work well together, and then we then built around that. So when you see the furniture or you see the lamp fixtures, you know, it's has nice wood tones, but at the same time, you know, glass tile. Even when you go in the bathroom, like, it's funny, we get so many comments on our bathroom from ladies specifically.
We'll be sure to catch a little bit of that. Stay till the end to see that.
I think they like it because there's a place on the wall to hang your purse.
Yeah.
So you don't have to put it on the floor. And that was just a little touch that we added. It's also spacious. And there's a bright purple, I guess you could call it purple wall that's an accent color in there. But also, like one of the things the guys like about it, or find interesting about it, is when we designed this place, that's someone using the bathroom right now, drying their hands. It's a very eco-friendly bathroom too. So we have hand dryers, we have a waterless urinal in there for the guys, so we're saving water for. So I would say one of the really cool things that's in there is the original electrical panel that was in this building that has the round
knob and tube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't, we disconnected it and it's no longer being used, but it's behind a plexiglass so that you can actually see it. And it's something that we decided to keep. We could have easily threw that out in the dumpster with all the things we threw out. But we wanted to keep a bit of the history of the building. And it's funny because people come in and they'll ask us, is it still operational? Like, is it still being used? Even one of the health inspectors who didn't know what we were doing even called us out on it. It was like, no, there's nothing running through it. So there's a little bit of history that we've left here in the building.
Yeah, I think when I look around, I see a little bit of vintage touches, like your clock and some of the accents on the table just have that little more vintagey kind of feel.
It's definitely, I wouldn't say the most modern of places. You know, and we wanted people to feel more at home than anything. So it's you know, and it's actually been 2 years, so now it's probably time to give it a facelift at this point.
Yeah, I think it looks really great.
And we even have cool things like people come in here and are like, how is that logo on the wall over there? And they're really surprised by that. And then they realize it's and that's more of a theatrical television accent. That's what's called a gobo that has a spotlight behind it, projecting our logo onto the wall. So
stay tuned to the end because I'm going to highlight that as well, so you get to see that.
it's a little fun things.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's such a great spot, and it's fun, and you've got amazing things here. And I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, you get a lot of people that work in entertainment that are coming here at lunch, or what about happy hours?
So the interesting thing is we're on a side street.
Okay.
So I will say that probably hasn't been the most positive thing of being in operation here. I mean, you don't get that traffic as if you're driving down Riverside and you have a big sign out there that everyone can see. So a lot of it's been word of mouth, because there are people that work in these buildings and they'll come in and, you know, we always like to ask our guests, is this your first time or have you done this before? And if they ever say it's their first time, it's like, oh, do you live or work in the neighborhood? And, you know, they'll say yes, and then we'll be like, well, like thinking they just moved in or something, or they just started at this office building or whatever. They're like, oh no, we've been here 2 years. I'm like, wait, but you know, a lot of people are creatures of habit.
Right.
They go to the same places, and we see that too. By the way, we have guests who come into our cafe very regularly, some for lunch, and they will eat the same thing every day, 3 days a week, 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And it's a great dish, don't get me wrong, but we would love for them to try other things. And if, you know, they're unhappy with that choice because it doesn't, you know, people come in and we'll ask them if it's their first time that they've been in Red Maple, and, you know, a lot of times they'll say yes. And, we'll, you know, sometimes it's because they're visiting, or, you know, they found us on Yelp or whatever, but then other times they'll be like, you know, I live, you know, in the neighborhood, or I work in the neighborhood. And I'll be like, and they'll say to us thinking like we just opened, like we're a brand new place. And we'll be like, oh no, we've been here 2 years. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, you know, how have you not heard about us in those 2 years? So it doesn't help necessarily being on a side street. It is a little quieter because of that. So we don't have all that racing Riverside traffic going by, since we do have about 30 plus seats on our patio. The majority of our seating is outside. The other issue for us is parking. You know, we're not fortunate to have our own dedicated parking. So as many of you know that live here, walking is the best choice.
Yes. I do that too.
And then you get to, you know, have a gelato and not feel bad that you have the gelato.
Right, because you can work it off on your
Right.
walk home, or your walk down with friends and walking around and kind of strolling or walking at a fast pace or stepping through the neighborhood, because you work it off, so it justifies it.
And a lot of people don't know this, but you can Google it too. Gelato has half the fat of ice cream and 30% less calories.
Yes.
All true.
Yes, and I'm very excited about that fact. Well, let's talk about your gelato for a second, because you introduced me to one that I'm just like, oh my goodness. Talk about the famous ube.
So ube has been around for a while, and it is a very popular Filipino, native to the Philippines. And you can get ube cakes and donuts, and I mean, everyone's putting ube everywhere. I mean, if you go around. It is our #1 seller. We sell more ube gelato than vanilla or even chocolate. The other thing about our gelato is we use the best ingredients. So our pistachio is, I feel, one of the best in Los Angeles. We import our pistachios from Sicily, chocolate from Belgium, so it's a nice rich dark chocolate, vanilla from Madagascar, the caramel, macizo caramel from Argentina. Our signature flavor is maple roasted butter pecan, of course. It's probably the sweetest of them all because of the maple syrup. And then we have a bunch of other fun flavors. We have lemon cookie, vanilla apple crisp that tastes just like eating apple pie. We have salty s'mores. We always have 2 non-dairy sorbets as well. And we only use raw fruit, so you're not going to get that aftertaste of like a preserve or something like that, or jam. Or so you can taste the fruit in our sorbets, and we have a blueberry sweet corn that's pretty cool and unique, and I think isn't that right now for the summer. So when we had our gelato bar up in the corner, one of the things we did was we made homemade gelato sandwiches. And we would take like a Hawaiian sweet bun and then put the scoop of gelato inside that and then seal it around the edges. So it was hot on the outside and then cold on the inside. And we sold a lot of them.
That sounds delicious, but obnoxiously like high in sugar and calories.
Well, I mean, Hawaiian sweet bun's not too bad.
Okay.
I mean, it is bread, but it was a nice offset to the ice cream. And when we made that move of our gelato back here, one of the downsides to this space is we have a lot of extra stuff. You know, we have a full espresso program here. We have a ton of iced teas and lemonades and bubblers and things like that. So we didn't have a lot of space. But we've had a lot of requests to bring those back, and so it is something that we are going to be bringing back very soon. So you'll be able to get those gelato sandwiches here at Red Maple, you know, very, very soon.
Well, that's exciting to know about. What else do you have coming up that people who are current customers or haven't tried you yet, what should they know that's coming up that's new and exciting?
Well, one of the things we are working with the city of Burbank on our beer and wine license, so that's we're very excited about. We've gone through some of the stages, but it's not a short process, unfortunately, and that should probably be a big thing for us because a lot of people in the offices are always looking for that happy hour, and a lot of the other restaurants in the area do offer beer and wine. They're full bars, so that's something we're working on. We just started our dinner service, so we are now open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for dinner. And some of the dishes that are coming soon, being introduced, we're bringing in the Beyond Burger. So it's a fully plant-based vegan dish with a vegan pretzel bun, vegan cheese. We're doing a caramelized onion truffle aioli that's vegan. It's going to have some sprouts, some lettuce, some tomato, and that Beyond Burger, of course. And so that's coming. We have a brisket stroganoff. So we're known, if anyone has dined here before, I think you'll know that we are known for our brisket. We slow roast it daily, and so we have our brisket green onion waffle wedge and our brisket burger and our brisket sliders. We're adding for dinner a brisket stroganoff, which I've tested and is delicious. There's a lot of pasta dishes coming to our new dinner menu. There's a turkey meatloaf, so a little comfort food. The other thing too I think about Red Maple is, we try to approach every dish that we make with a perspective of how can we do it different. Because, you can buy meatloaf everywhere, including the grocery store. You can buy stroganoff, at restaurants, but brisket, so we have a lot of yummy deliciousness coming to our dinner menu, and I'm trying to think what else, do people have to look forward to? We're actually, there are some things coming, but I can't tease them here because I don't want my competitors to know about that.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So here's a great question then. So for your dedicated customers, the ones that love you, come weekly, is there a way they can sign up for like special offers or anything?
So we have our Maple Leaf Awards program for one.
Okay.
So we were, as far as I can tell, one of the original in this Toluca Lake area with a loyalty program. There are now other restaurants and businesses that have added loyalty programs, but since the day we opened 2+ years ago, every $50 you spend with us, you get $2.50 back, which is 5%. And as I like to point out, better than many credit card offers that you get back, because they'll give you 1% or 2% or 3%. So we do reward our loyal customers that way. In addition to that, we do have our email program where you can sign up for. And so on occasion, we'll send out these emails announcing new things or extended hours or things like that. So, we encourage you to go to redmaplecafé.com. And actually there you can check out some of our very cool coffee ripples that we've done. We just uploaded a bunch of new ones from Oprah and Chris Hemsworth, who's been here.
That was super fun. You guys stay to the very end, you'll get to see that as well.
Yeah, we're very fortunate that we've done some unique things. I mean, we're one of the few places that offers what is called these coffee ripples on the lattes, cappuccinos, macchiatos, and what that is it is taking a coffee extract and printing it on top of the foam like a laser printer, only using coffee extract, so it's fully edible. And we do what we have coined Celebra lattes, so you can come and get your own Celebra latte here. You can ask us or request a specific celebrity, which many people do. We'll download a quick photo and print it on there for you, or you can even upload your own photo, whether it be of you or you're a parent, a child, a pet. We get a lot of pets.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
can see that. Memorialize your pet a little bit. Okay.
We even had a young lady tell her husband that he was going to be a dad. She literally had us print on top of the ripple, "You're going to be a daddy." And when we presented we filmed it for them because they asked us on their phone because she wanted to memorialize his reaction. And when we put the drink down in front of the guy, he So we put the drink down in front of him, and at first he looked at it, and it said, "You're going to be daddy," and he actually thought the drink was someone else's drink. Because he read it, but he didn't think that it was his drink.
Right.
And then his wife literally said, "Did you look at the cup?" And then I think at that point he realized, oh, she's prodding me to look at it, and I guess it is. And he literally jumped up and hugged her, and it was really sweet. I thought it was very creative. We haven't gotten anyone to do a wedding proposal yet.
Maybe you'll get one in the next couple months.
Yes, maybe any of you that are watching this that is looking for that unique proposition to propose to that special lady or guy, come here to Red Maple, put a little ring on it, see if they, say yes or no. Why would they say no?
I know.
With that unique of a proposal.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's definitely a yes one.
getting down on one knee, that's so old school. Now do it on a coffee.
On a coffee at a beautiful setting with some food and dessert, some half-calorie gelato, right?
50% less fat, 30% less calories.
And then ube is a vegetable, correct?
It is.
So we could actually say you're getting a veggie.
That's what by the way, that's what I tell the kids when they come in. With their parents. I say and look, you're getting your veggies, so tell mommy what 2 scoops instead of 1. So, yeah, purple yams. Just like an orange yam, but they're purple.
So, being that your business is here, and you don't live too far away, you're just a town or two over, what do you think is really important, or why it's important for people to shop local?
Here's, it's a community is the most important thing. And anyone can go to a big chain restaurant or the big chain retail stores and buy, but the people that are opening up these businesses and risking their money,
Yes.
because you never know whether it's a restaurant or whether it's the next nail salon or whatever. I mean, they're putting their heart, they're putting their soul, they're putting everything that they've got into it to make it successful. And, many businesses do fail. It's not because of lack of trying, I would say. Sometimes it's lack of, finding the right need for that space. If there's an area that has too many of something. I'm always amazed when I drive around and see, so many nail salons. But there are a lot of you ladies out there that need your nails done.
Nails and banks,
Nails and banks.
so many of them right here.
Well, the fact that there's a Wells Fargo 2 blocks from each other, I mean, it kind of impresses me that there's.
So Brian, share something that most people don't know about you, people that just only associate you with Red Maple. Share a little something about you.
So, that's an interesting thing because, for the folks that come in here on a very regular basis and see me behind the counter taking their order or scooping them some gelato, don't know that, my career is actually producing unscripted television, game shows, reality shows, competition shows. I've been in the entertainment business since I was 18 and have worked my way up to show running and stuff. And I took a leave of absence to launch this place. It's taken a little longer than I anticipated. I wasn't expecting to be out of that industry for as long as I have been, but those are the challenges when you're building a business from the ground up. Where we're located on Riverside, within the last 2 years, there has been 6, 7 restaurants that have opened up in those 2 years. That's a lot, in addition to all the ones that were already here. So they're all doing great things. They're all serving awesome food. They're all giving you guys great access to great food. But at the same time, one of the biggest challenges for everyone in the area is the parking situation. So there's only so many ways you can counteract that unless somehow someone decides to tear down the building and build a parking garage. But for me, I'm looking forward to going back. We have a good team now in place after 2 years of in our management structure as well as our kitchen staff. And so the plan for me is to go back to producing, get back to my roots and what I love, and then coming here, on the weekends and helping out. I'll never be able to not stay away or be a part of this place. It's part of my DNA, my fingerprints as our gyms. on everything we do. You know, even it's interesting. I didn't mention this, but it just dawned on me. Like if you look at our logo, which is Red Maple Café, but it has this swooping maple tree. And if you look on that tree, there are two birds, and those birds represent Jim and I. You know what? I mean, but the interesting thing is, most people like just think, oh, it's just the logo. There's two birds, whatever. They don't realize those little, you know, things that we subliminally put into, you know, and thought of. And I think that there are so many people that have come in here and visited us over these last 2+ years that recognize those little touches, you know, that have helped build us to where we are. I mean, again, most restaurants verifiably close within 6 months to a year. Saying, you know, don't get me wrong, it hasn't been easy. It's a lot of work. I think Jim and I, in the 2 years plus that we've been opened, have probably each had 5 days, maybe 10 if we're lucky, over the 2 years off. That's a lot, and it takes an emotional toll on anyone. I mean, there's many business owners that are out there that, although the downside for us is we're open 7 days a week. Not every, you know, every restaurant or business in this area. I mean, if you look in our section of Toluca Lake on Sundays, most places are closed. Most of the restaurants, the hair salons, things like that are closed. It's interesting enough, it's one of our busiest days. We've built a very good brunch crowd on Sundays. And so, you know, we're open at 8 in the morning. Best time to come is early in the morning because we're still, you know, not, you know, lines out the door, things like that. But, you know, it's, I don't know how, you know, it's like my child now. And like, how do you ever give up your child? You know, that kind of thing. No one ever does that or thinks of that. And you don't want to neglect your child. And so, you know, that's why I think when you come in, you see Jim and I here so much. You know, we love being here. We love interacting with folks like you guys that come in and enjoy our food. We love to hear your feedback when, you know, like we've taken things up earlier this year. We took some things off of our menu. And to hear, you know, some of the locals that have like are missing our banana chia pancakes. That's something that's coming back, by the way. House-made balsamic blueberry compote on top. So, you know, we love hearing those things because, you know, we want people to, you know, like the food, like the atmosphere, like our employees, and establish those relationships with them. You know, so it's definitely been a tiring 2.5 years.
Let me ask you this question because my mind just came across this when we're talking about the outdoor sitting space. Is this dog friendly? Like patios, you can bring your dogs outdoors. I see a lot of people on the weekends with their dogs for breakfast and lunch. Are you pet friendly on the outside as well?
So we have some tables out on the side. When we first opened, we did allow dogs onto the patio. The problem is in comparing it to, say, Patty's has a little more space than us, and even out on their patio, the tables aren't as close together, and there's a little more room for walking and getting through. And our space isn't as big, and so it was really challenging for us. But Jim and I both have dogs, and you know, we were very pet friendly, meaning we allowed pets on our patio when we first opened up. But unfortunately, because of the limited space, we did have some issues that it came up, and we had to change the policy where we only allow dogs. We added some seats out on our sidewalk, and so we allow pets out there. Obviously, you know, if you have a service dog, you know, those are allowed anywhere. But it was a little challenging for us, and it was hard. It was hard for us because, again, like I said, we love our dogs. We understand, you know, dogs are many people's kids, and an extension of their family. And so, but our space is just a little too limiting to be able to accommodate dogs.
Are there plans in the future to maybe, when there's an opportunity on Riverside, a bigger space to shift over and grow?
You know, that's an interesting thing. I always, would we like to be in a bigger space? Yes. Will it work out? Who knows? You know, it's hard to say. we definitely love the Toluca Lake area. I don't see us ever like saying let's close this place down and open it in Encino. It's definitely a thing where we would, when the time is right to open up another location, finding a place that we can have parking available more easily and readily is going to be the most important thing for us. We have become accustomed in this world of convenience, and like Jim, he refuses to valet. He doesn't like valeting his car anywhere. And so there are people like that. So whether you have a valet or not, that doesn't necessarily help. But one of the things we did offer, and a lot of people don't know this unless you've been on our website, but we paid the city to paint a green zone directly in front of our cafe. And so it's a 10-minute loading, unloading, and we now offer curbside pickup. So for all of you guys that have kids and you're working and you're rushing to get a nice, decent, yummy, delicious meal for them, you can call ahead, order online, and then come right up. And if you pay online through our website, you can literally just pull right up, call us, we'll bring it right out. You don't even have to get out of the car.
Fantastic.
That we started offering a couple months ago and has helped with the lunch business because we do a lot of takeout. People are on the go. They don't have a lot of time.
So Brian, I really wanted to thank you for taking the time with me today. I know you're busy here. I mean, you were juggling some things while we were sitting down together, and you were just so amazing. Giving me the time and sitting down talking, and I think it's an extension of who you are and who you are with your customers. Guys, phenomenal service here, lots of caring, lots of heart. You've talked often about some of your menus and just so much that you put into it. I think it's pretty amazing. I want to thank you again. I'm going to have all the information below on your website, hours. You guys, if you've never been, you need to come and check it out. Please do. Watch the very end. We're going to have some footage as well as something a little extra special for you guys.
At the Red Maple Café in Burbank and ordered a latte, and look what's on top of it. I didn't ask for that, I did. I insisted. Tastes delicious.
Are you going to do a single?